right now on 5 on your side at 10.
A bitter, blustery blast of Arctic air is heading our way. The impacts on your Friday evening commute and into the weekend.
Tonight, a 73-year-old man is recovering after he was viciously attacked by dogs.
He truly was fighting for his life.
The fight now to get those dogs off the streets of his Metro East neighborhood. And a squabble in the sky over St. Louis. The move city leaders are taking after a company vows to defy an order to ground its anti-crime drones.
We start tonight in a weather alert. Rain is moving in. It's the leading edge of an Arctic blast barreling towards St. Louis. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. We could see it all over the next 24 hours. A brief hit of snow, gusty winds that could knock down power lines and frigid temperatures. Let's get straight over to Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with new information on the timing of all these changes, Scott.
You know, there's a lot going on tonight. You may have heard thunder already, especially north and northwest of St. Louis. We've had some pea-sized hail as well reported as these showers and thunderstorms have been literally developing right around the metro area and heading to the north. That's going to create this whole weather pattern, some flight delays and cancellations out of Lambert as we go through the next 36 hours or so, because this is a very dynamic and widespread storm system. Here's a look at your Weather First Doppler radar. Focused on the area north of St. Louis, some hail in here, very small hail, but some in there nonetheless, even into North St. Louis County, up around 270, some downpours there, and now that's lifting farther to the north, up across Greene, Jersey County, into Macoupin County. Look at these storms down towards Branson, sliding into the Ozarks. That will be the next round that heads our way. And believe it or not, Storm Prediction Center just put out a tornado watch down in Arkansas and through the Arklatex. So this storm system is going to come barreling in here tomorrow morning. We're still warm tomorrow morning, close to 50 early on. We'll have some more downpours in the morning. Then we might have a brief period, a quick burst, if you will, of snow along about 11 to 4. But there's not going to be much in the way of accumulation with that. More concern with the strong winds and the Arctic air. Winds will gust upwards of 50 to 55 miles per hour late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. And that Arctic air produces sub-zero wind chills starting on Saturday evening. And those wind chills do not go above zero until sometime Tuesday. We'll see in a few minutes. We'll get even more specific with our timing.
And tonight, area road crews are resting up for a busy day tomorrow.
MoDOT says it has snow plows and salt trucks will be ready, fully staffed, working 12-hour shifts. They are expecting a slushy mess on the roads tomorrow afternoon. So far this winter, driving in the snow hasn't been a major issue with warmer ground temperatures. Officials are warning the frigid temperatures moving in could make your drive more dicey, especially when more snow falls on Sunday.
Those pavement temperatures are going to be cold, and that snow is going to stick to the roadway more, and our chemicals work a lot slower, so things are going to take a lot more time.
We're concerned with people sliding off into ditches, being stuck there for long periods of time waiting on help to arrive, or with the cold weather, just vehicles breaking down.
Drivers are urged to slow down and give crews plenty of room on the roads. Missouri State Highway Patrol says you should plan to winterize your cars ahead of the storm with blankets and food, just in case of an emergency.
We've also been in touch with IDOT tonight. Crews have been testing trucks all week and preparing a hot brine designed for single-digit temperatures. Since this system is beginning with rain, crews cannot pre-treat the roads. Missouri Governor Mike Parson has signed an executive order ahead of the winter weather and extreme cold. It waives driving time regulations for commercial trucks delivering heating fuels like propane, natural gas, and heating oil. The order also activates the Missouri National Guard to respond if needed. And remember, you can get the Weather First forecast anytime at your fingertips. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send it straight to your phone. And the Today in St. Louis team will have the latest forecast and road conditions on Today in St. Louis. You can watch it on air or stream our newscasts and weathercasts on 5+. It's free to download on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV. Just search for KSDK in the App Store.
Developing tonight, homicide detectives are investigating after a double shooting in South St. Louis. The shooting happened just a few hours ago on LaSalle Park Court. That is off Tucker and Choteau. We are told one man was shot in the back and died. Another was shot in the chin and taken to the hospital. No word on what led to the gunfire. And tonight, St. Louis police are investigating another deadly shooting, this one in the Jeff Vanderloo neighborhood in North City. We're told a man was found shot in the head on the ground near the intersection of Grand and Cass this afternoon. Investigators have not said what led to that shooting.
Developing tonight, a private company says it will defy a warning from St. Louis leaders and will fly its anti-crime surveillance drones over the Gravois Park neighborhood. Now the Board of Aldermen is taking action. Our Laura Barczewski is live at City Hall, where a new bill regarding drones will be discussed tomorrow. Laura?
Mike, the private company SMS Novel Films sent a strongly worded letter to the city today regarding the cease and desist letter they received earlier this week, saying they have the right to film over the neighborhood and will take legal action if the city continues to fight their efforts. Gravois Park residents say they do not want SMS Novel Films or its CEO, Jomo Johnson, surveilling their neighborhood, and even started a petition against their proposal.
Categorically, across the board, people don't want this. They don't want to be relying on for-profit, unaccountable drone surveillance technology in Gravois Park. We want something different, and we want this guy to go away.
Jacob Lionfield said in a statement Thursday, Mr. Johnson is stoking fear in Gravois Park residents who are anxiously wondering whether they're going to wake up on January 29th to privately owned drones taking footage of their children hovering outside their bedroom windows and flying over their backyards. Their petition also called on elected officials to strengthen city drone laws. One of the alderpersons, Alicia Saunier, is now taking action with Board Bill 199, which requires people operating drones in St. Louis for commercial purposes to have a drone license and a business license in St. Louis. It also says no person, entity, or state agency shall use a drone to conduct surveillance or observation of any individual or privately owned property without the express written consent of that individual or property owner. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, local governments can prohibit the takeoff and landing in certain areas, but the FAA has sole authority of the skies and are the only ones who can restrict the airspace. Something the CEO of SMS Novel Films pointed out in a letter, saying he will take legal action against the city if they do not rescind the cease and desist order. Alderman Shane Cohn said in a statement, a private entity charging citizens to watch vigilante drone footage is ridiculous and does nothing to deter crime and only sacrifices citizens' liberty at the hand of ill-fated security measures. The St. Louis Board of Aldermen is scheduled to take up this bill tomorrow during their session. Reporting live from downtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Investigators now say the deadly shooting of an Alton teen on New Year's Day was the result of a group playing with guns. 18-year-old Terrence Johnson is now charged with involuntary manslaughter and obstructing justice. 17-year-old Jaden Dahl was killed. Court documents reveal Johnson admitted he and 4 others were playing shooting at each other and didn't believe there was ammunition in the gun. Also in Alton tonight, the Illinois State Fire Marshal is investigating a deadly fire. The fire broke out this afternoon in a home on Grandview Avenue off Main Street. Firefighters found 1 victim in the home. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Investigators now say a double shooting in St. Charles stemmed from a drug deal. Prosecutors have charged Quindarian Wright and Brendan Sidor with several felonies, including robbery. According to police, the 2 were buying marijuana from a man near the intersection of Transit Street and Moore Avenue when the gunfire broke out. That 3rd man is still in the hospital tonight. No word on whether he'll face charges. Sidnor was also hospitalized. Wright was not shot and taken to jail. Tonight, a Metro East man is still recovering 1 week after he was viciously attacked by 2 dogs.
It happened just steps from his West Belleville home. New tonight, 5 on your side's Robert Townsend reports the man's wife and animal control officers want those dogs off the streets.
It was a terrifying time for 73-year-old Jerry Schlick.
It was awful. They said had this have been a child, they wouldn't have survived.
Kelly Schlick says last Thursday afternoon her husband was walking their son's dogs near West B Street in West Belleville. Jerry says out of the blue, a big white and tan colored dog, possibly an Akita mix, similar to the one pictured here, first attacked their 8-year-old lab mix, Hank.
My husband said he was literally screaming. The dog was. He said, I really thought Hank was going to be dead.
And then 3-year-old Bear.
He he went and started kicking and punching that dog to get him off, and then both of them got on him.
The two dogs had a 215-pound Jerry pinned on the ground. The retired hospital worker suffered multiple bite marks on his legs and hands.
These are tears. His skin was ripped.
His wife was at her business around the corner at the time.
Luckily, he was able to get himself up and get in the house.
As quickly as they attacked, the dogs ran off. St. Clair County animal control officers have been looking for those two dogs ever since they attacked Mr. Slick. Officers want to find them, bring them here to their center, and quarantine them. By law, after a dog bite incident, they have 10 days to do that.
Both of them had collars on, and both of them had tags.
1 week later, Jerry Schlick has started a series of painful rabies shots and remains in the hospital.
I hope that the owners see this and come forward, because then we would know if they have had their vaccinations or not. If they have, we can stop the rabies shots. He's very lucky. If it had been his throat, he'd be gone.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
And the Schlick family dogs weren't seriously hurt. Animal control officers are reminding owners to ensure the safety of the public. State law requires that you keep your dogs up to date on their vaccinations. St. Clair County also has a leash law for dogs.
Tonight, we're searching for solutions in Baltimore. Like St. Louis, it's a city with an iconic waterfront.
In its heyday, this promenade out here would be packed with people walking. I mean, it would just be crazy busy.
The efforts to turn blight into a bright spot in the Charm City.
I see a lot of work ahead, but I see a lot of possibilities.
Showers and storms for some of us right now, and then Friday night, strong and gusty winds bring in the cold air. The threats we deal with over the weekend.
For the last year, 5 on Your Side has traveled across the country learning what other cities are doing to overcome obstacles. We have taken you to Detroit, Indianapolis, New Orleans, and Kansas City.
In our final stop, we head to Baltimore, a city that's seen its population shrink over the years, leading to a rise in abandoned property. In tonight's Searching for Solutions, our Brett Solomon shows us how investors and city partners are now working to rebuild Baltimore.
It has a great history, a modest history, but I think modesty is one of the city's charms.
At the heart of what's known as Charm City, there's a certain staple that charms the palates of just about everyone.
Literally, Baltimore people put it on everything.
Old Bay seasoning. A German immigrant created it to accompany steamed crab, a delicacy from the region's Chesapeake Bay. You're looking at the Inner Harbor, an area developers have molded over the years for tourists, shoppers, and seafood lovers. Researchers with the Urban Land Institute once calling it the model for post-industrial waterfront redevelopment in the world.
In its heyday, this promenade out here would be packed with people walking. I mean, it would just be crazy busy.
But when Robin Arasso looks out of her shop these days, she's noticed something.
Like in the last 8 years, it's kind of died down.
It's why she's excited about a new plan to transform the landscape, tearing down old pavilions, creating new commercial and residential space, even building an amphitheater.
There's going to be new buildings. These buildings are 40 years old, so we're looking for some change to make things better.
The goal is to spark revitalization and in turn bring back the foot traffic. A group of stakeholders, including downtown businesses and community groups, now working with developers and city leaders about the best way to bring the plans to life. As discussions about development along the waterfront move forward, there's another group of stakeholders in the inner city saying, don't forget about us.
Businesses can't thrive in the city either if the neighborhoods are collapsed, there's increased crime, people are afraid to come into the city.
If you drive 2 miles east of the waterfront, you'll get to southwest Baltimore. Folks here call it Sewebo.
As the population declined, we had more houses than we had people to live in them.
Baltimore is now home to some 70,000 abandoned properties. Instead of accepting it as status quo, pastors, politicians, and everyday people now coming together to erase a pattern of disinvestment.
I see a lot of work ahead, but I see a lot of possibility.
Pastor Andrew Connors works with a group called Build, a nonprofit that's rehabbed homes block by block for 2 decades. Here's a look at one community brought back to life. It caught the attention of Baltimore's mayor, who now wants to use Build's model as a plan to tackle the problem citywide, pledging $300 million in city funding to get things started.
You know, I was hearing from a young person the other day who grew up in a neighborhood with lots of vacants. And he said, you know, when I walk down the street, I would think to myself as a young person, if my neighborhood's not worth investing in, who am I to think that I'm worth investing in?
By getting people back into homes,
you'd be looking at $7.5 billion generated in new tax revenue.
It's a demonstration of Baltimore working to cement that charm that it's boasted since its inception, putting money where it matters to change its own narrative.
It has so much promise still. You know, we know it can be what it used to be.
Next week, we'll explore how law enforcement agencies are partnering across the Baltimore region to tackle the problem of auto thefts, and whether the concept of a city-county merger is gaining any traction. It's a conversation we've seen here. That part of Searching for Solutions next Thursday at 10.
All right, let's turn now to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. He joins us now with that weather first forecast. The big chill is on its way.
Yep. You know, there's a lot of transition happening over the next 12 to 24 hours across the bi-state region. Some of us have already heard the thunder tonight, especially in North St. Louis County, right up here around Florissant. We had some lightning. Lightning strikes out into St. Charles County. That's all lifted off to the north now, sliding up here across a good chunk of Greene County. Carrollton, probably still some rumbles there, probably hearing some rumbles around Carlinville as well. That's the first batch that's sliding off to the north and east, but there are more showers and thunderstorms that are developing east and south now of Springfield. They've been rolling through Branson. Some of these have some hail with them as well, along with some 40, maybe 50 mile per hour wind gusts. And yes, you have severe weather down here southwest of Little Rock, already a severe thunderstorm warning. So let's just kind of lay this out here. We are in our weather first weather alert for overnight tonight into Friday night. Rain and some thunder will come in waves overnight into early tomorrow. We think we'll get a brief burst of snow, at least that potential, between 11 and 4. Snowfall, though, is going to be quite light, under 1 inch, maybe nothing for a good chunk of us. It just depends at this point. But the winds are going to howl. 45 to 55 miles per hour, and then the Arctic air surges in. We go below freezing late tomorrow, and then we're not getting above freezing until maybe Wednesday afternoon. Everybody wants to know about snow accumulation. We don't think this is a big deal. Maybe there's an inch or 2 or 3 getting up towards Pike County, Quincy, Hannibal. For most of us, the snow, if we see it change over, it's going to come fast and furious for about an hour, and then it's done. And then temperatures will really plummet after that. It will be a full-on blizzard, though, across Iowa, parts of Wisconsin, northern Illinois. Don't travel north tomorrow. Don't plan on doing it on Saturday either. So another wave coming in. This is the batch from the Ozarks. That'll be here between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. First part of the morning rush hour, maybe not so much rain, but then another surge comes in with some thunder. And it's right on this back edge as we head towards lunchtime where we expect to see the colder air trying to surge in. That's where there's the potential for that changeover and briefly some accumulating snow. But it would be minimal as far as accumulations go. Winds, even bigger story here. They'll be gusting 50 to 55 miles per hour. This is why it's an alert day tomorrow. The brief period of snow is just one aspect of it. The strong winds, a bigger aspect. That means the potential's there for some possible power outages as we head into tomorrow night. Make sure your devices are charged. Make sure you're ready to handle this cold. Wind chills on Saturday drop below 0 as we head into your Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, and those wind chills do not get above 0 until we get to Tuesday at some point. The snow on Sunday we've been talking about should be mainly to our south. The wind chills 10 to 20 below 0 by Monday morning. Weather alert day tomorrow, weather alert day Sunday and Monday for those bitter cold wind chills. And then a little bit of a break towards the middle of next week. Listen, it's not a lot of snow tomorrow. could be a bit of a problem, but it's really that wind and the cold coming in
the
this
cold.
weekend.
All right, Scott, thanks.
All right, Corey is next with sports.
Well, the Blues played another thrilling game against one of the NHL's best teams, and one local young soccer fan had the trading card pull of a lifetime. Stick around, sports is up next.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
The Blues certainly haven't been perfect under Drew Bannister, but you cannot deny there has been a spark. Every game lately has produced the potential for a special moment. We definitely got one tonight at Enterprise Center against the New York Rangers. Cardinals phenom Jordan Walker and his dad in the house to watch Colton Parayko pass Bobby Plager for third most games played by a defenseman in Blues history. The story tonight came from this man on offense, though. Blues down 1-0. Jordan Kyrou rips one to tie things at 1. Now on the power play, Kyrou, nifty play in front, 2-1 Blues, his second of the night. Let's go to the third period now. Blues up 3-1. Kyrou breakaway. I bet you know how this one ends. Yep, that one's good too. Kyrou gets the hat trick, the third of his career. The Blues score twice on the power play. Binnington stays hot, stopping 41 of 43, and the Blues take down the division-leading Rangers 5-2 for another impressive victory.
It was good. It was a clean game, fun. You know, you're going against a good offensive team over there, and it was a fun working night.
You know, I think lately we've had a ton of chances, a couple goals, good looks. You know, we're attacking more, so it feels good to get 2 power play goals there. Huge for the team.
Brad Underwood's 10th ranked Illini got all they could handle against Tom Izzo and Michigan State tonight in Champaign. Big slam from Ty Rogers to start things. He had a nice game, 15 points. Coleman Hawkins was good tonight too. Nails the triple from the corner in the second half. Spartans never quit though. This layup's going to make it a 3-point game with 3:20 left. Illini fans get a little bit nervous. Michigan State has a shot to tie it with time running out, but they can't convert. Illinois survives at home with a 71-68 win. Lots of great high school basketball in our town this year. No team is off to a better start than the Ladue Rams. They are a perfect 13-0, by far the longest unbeaten streak to start a season in program history. But these Rams are focused on much more than that undefeated record. After falling in last year's state title game, this team wants it all.
But I think our kids kind of have that grit, you know, losing in the state championship by 11. Like I said, I have a lot of kids that are back this year, and I think they're kind of hungry to get back down there with a chance to win.
In the locker room, I was just thinking about next year. Like, we were all very emotional in there. So I think that really helped us, like, for motivation for next year.
I mean, I take it one game at a time, but yeah, at times I do think I want to go 32-0.
Anyone who has ever opened a pack of sports trading cards knows the thrill of it. You never know what you're going to get. But I'd wager nobody watching this broadcast has had a more impressive pull than this young man from Creve Coeur. 10-year-old Jet Meyer loves soccer, and he loves St. Louis City SC. So when the new MLS Topps cards came out, he and his dad had to get a case from Restless Craft Card Shop in St. Peter's. They didn't know they were going to hit the Holy Grail, though. A one-of-one Lionel Messi Miami FC card, one of the rarest and most valuable when it comes to soccer cards today. I'll let Jet tell you about the past week and how much this big score could be worth.
It's been really crazy because, you know, I've been telling my friends that I just got like one of the rarest cards in probably the world out of just like our first case, and they all thought it was really cool. And also, I've been ecstatic about the offers that we've gotten for this card. Like, I think our highest offer was like $27,000, that's a lot of money.
Former Cardinals catcher Andrew Kisner has a new home. Kisner has a one-year deal in place with the defending World Series champion Texas Rangers. Kisner will reunite with his old pitching coach Mike Maddox in Texas, and perhaps Jordan Montgomery if the Rangers re-sign the lefty. Speaking of the World Series, we have a Sports Plus you simply cannot miss on Sunday. Frank Cusimano sits down with the last two Cardinals World Series MVPs, David Freese and David Eckstein. That is Sunday night after the news on Sports Plus. Back to that trading card.
Let's talk about Jet again.
So
he was so calm about it.
They do plan on selling it. They're waiting for offers, and some of it is going to go to his college fund. They already told me.
That'll help.
Yeah,
for
that'll
sure.
help.
Oh, he was a
Corey,
cutie, too.
thanks.
A plush gift for your Valentine's Day crush. The Build-A-Bears for adults only. Build-A-Bear is spicing things up this Valentine's Day. The St. Louis-based company has released a new line to its After Dark collection for adults. The Zaddy Lion is for your main squeeze, and there's also a line of devilishly cute teddy bears.
New flavors are coming to this year's line of Easter Peeps. Rice Krispies Treats flavored marshmallow chicks will be sold at Walmart. Target will carry the Icy Blue Raspberry Peeps. You can find Sour Strawberry at Ruler Foods, and the S'mores Graham Cracker flavored marshmallow chicks dipped in milk chocolate will be sold everywhere.
A lot of teeth will be falling out.
Exactly.
They're getting out of control with that.
And teeth will be chattering this weekend.
Oh, yeah,
Scott.
you got that right. We're talking temperatures that are going to be really cold. We have more rain coming our way. It's right now coming out of the Ozarks. Some severe weather down in Arkansas and Oklahoma. For us, you'll get that wave of rain coming in here overnight. Another batch early tomorrow. Brief period of snow as possible, but it's that wind and the bitter cold coming this weekend. Low temperatures down around 0 by Monday morning.
There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis, beginning at 4 a.m.